All right, now, reminder. Again, this is a note sheet, which means it is free game when we get to the quiz. What's the quiz going to be? I believe there's going to be a short one on Friday, just a very short one, because I want to get some things out of the way, because I know you have activities this weekend to deal with. So, again, we're going to cross multiply like we did yesterday. We're going to set them equal, and then we're going to solve for the variable. Now, some of the ones that we've got up here at the top, and we'll get into some that are a little bit deeper when we get into some of the homework ones together, but these are going to be a little bit simpler. It doesn't matter which cross I start with. I'll just start with this one. So 5 times x is 5x. 10 times 3 is 30, and then I'm just going to divide to finish it off. I mean, nothing too highly complex here.
It's 6.
It's 6. Okay, so then we're just going to keep doing that. Now, as we multiply these and then divide, just a reminder again, you've got to stay focused in. It's so much easier to learn something when you're not having your brain go a bunch of different ways. I'm just saying. Speaking of my brain going a bunch of different ways, let's see if I can do this in my head. Maybe. 378, I'm going to say, but I'm not sure. Somebody double check me. Huh? Yeah. What's wrong with them? What are you talking about? There's nothing wrong with my glasses. That's right, thank you. 378 divided by 21. This is where my head blows up. 18. Oh, it even came out nice. I could have done that. Oh well. That's the way it goes sometimes. But again, even if there was something bigger with this, the process is still going to be the same. Cross multiply and then do what I have to get x by itself. And in this case, it seems to be divide all the time. Oh my. 48? Yes. But that's the process we're going to run. Now, is it going to come out nice every time? No. Sometimes when I cross multiply, it's not going to come out nice. And that's okay. Just because you get a decimal or a fraction for something, and I usually write mine as fractions, but if you wrote 0.8 for that, I'm not going to jump up and down, scream and yell and tell you it's wrong. But one thing that we didn't do yesterday, that we're going to talk a little bit about today, is what happens when they don't give me the problem. They give me information, they give me a sentence, but they don't tell me what the proportion looks like. That's one of the things we're going to take a little deeper of a look at today. So, when it talks about the ratios being in the same order, I see there's two things in my problem. I got plums, and I have ounces. So here's how I'm going to do this. I'm like, okay, I have 18 plums that weigh 54 ounces. When I go to make the other side, do I have plums or ounces for the next part? Plums. Plums have to go with plums, so they both go up top. And what I'm trying to find out is how many ounces they'd weigh. So I'm still going to cross multiply. 54 times 27. Okay, I'm going to go get a little help myself here. $14.58, and then just divide. So I find out 27 plums are going to weigh, 81 ounces if I move my calculator out of the way. Same exact thing, I just make sure the things that measure the same, whether it's plums, ounces, are across from each other, okay, that they line up with each other. Same thing here. Pages and minutes. Shh. 3 pages, 18 minutes. So then it says, how many pages can he type in 33 minutes? So here's the question. Does the 33 go on top or the bottom of my fraction? Bottom, because that's where the minutes are. That's what I'm trying to find out. So 3 times 33 is 99. 18 times x is 18x. I don't think this one's coming out nice, but that's okay. In life, a lot of things don't come out specifically nice and smooth. It's true. He can do about 5.5 pages. But again, just getting the labels lined up gets me to where I want to be. So, here's kind of how we're going to use this. I'm going to flip this over here for a second. I will come back to the proportions in a moment. I want to flip to this back page for a second. Notice, and I'll label this. Okay. Okay. For those of you watching later, I'm just going to keep talking, and my people that are going to do what they're going to do are going to do what they do. So, this packet that we're working on is going to be our next part of our homework check. And I'll update that here in a second and how this is going to work. Okay, the packet that we're working right now, if some of you are wondering, we're going to turn this into one assignment to keep life simple. But we're currently working on homework check 7. This is going to be our 3rd assignment in there. And our next homework check is going to be Friday. Yes, ma'am? Sure. So, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at this back page that I was at a minute ago. And we're going to see what we can do with some more of these story type problems and seeing how we can make those work out for us. So the odds are going to be our notes, the evens are going to be the homework part. But the idea is going to work the same just like we were doing them in the last part. If 2 cubic feet of sand weigh 90 pounds, okay, so I got 2 feet and I've got 90 pounds. They went together. Okay, how much do 5 cubic feet of sand weigh? Where does my 5 go? The top or the bottom of my second fraction? Where are the feet at? The top. And then x. And again, if putting the labels there kind of messy, you can put them off to the side, but we really need them because they give us a hint to figure out where the things go. And then my last step's just to divide. And I do want to get my labels because, is it 225 cubic feet? Is it 225 pounds? I don't know if I don't put the label on. But you notice they're all working the same way. As long as I keep my labels good, we're okay. Same thing when I get down to 3. I got miles, I got gallons. So, whatever goes together, 350 miles, 20 gallons, and then I look for the part in the next one. So, they tell me I'm driving 875 miles. Okay, where's the 875 go? The top. And I don't know how many gallons, but I'm going to find out. 875 times 20, 17,500. And divide by 350. And I should be able to do this in my head, but for some, it's 50, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. But you notice the pattern that develops. You're like, okay, so basically all I got to do is take the first part of the problem. So they give me 1 gallon in 450 feet, square feet. And then they tell me, well, I've got this room that has 675 square feet. Here, if you're ever looking for the life applications, here they are in bulk. Because who wants to go to the store and buy like 4 gallons of paint and you only need like a gallon and a half? Kind of silly. So we're just going to keep going with the cross multiplying. 675 times 1, I can handle that. And it's just that same need a gallon and a half, it looks like. I don't know if I can buy a gallon and a half. I might have to buy a gallon and some quarts. But again, the setup doesn't change. All right, one more. At a certain college, the ratio of men to women is 5 to 4. Okay, so 5 men to 4 women. If there are 2,800 men, how many women are there? Okay, so if they give me just a ratio like this, men came first there, so they go with the 5. Women come second, just in this example. That goes with the 4. And then I'm just going to cross multiply. It's 11,200. And divide by 5. Let's see if I can go math sharp here. Yee. Yeah, no. 2240, but I want to look. Oh, I'm in the nerd zone today. Okay. So your job is to do 2 things. First of all, with this packet that you've got, let me move the calculator out of the way here, is to solve the proportions on the front of it, okay? On this page, it's everything. They're not going to take you real long. It's just getting you a little more practice. So on that first sheet, it's everything, but then finishing off the second sheet, doing those 4 story problems on your own, setting them up and getting them ready. And if you're still working on yesterday's maybe, now this kind of gives you an opportunity to get that done or to kind of see how that works. And I've got the key up here too if you wanted to check any over as you get done with them, okay? And otherwise,